Hi, it's Paul from Outerloop Coaching and OuterloopCoaching.com. I got a big one for you. In this video, we're going to be talking about Google Search Console. Why do I like Google Search Console? Almost all the time, we are talking about here on Outerloop's YouTube channel and on our blog and everywhere else, we're always trying to talk about how to find fans. How do you find fans? But with Google Search Console, we flip it. We're going to talk about how your fans find you. That's why this is so important. Now, first of all, if you have a website for your band, this video is vital. If you do not have a website for your band, if you're using Facebook as your official page, if you are using, your Instagram account, I don't know what you're doing, get a website and then come back and watch this video because you need this and you need a website. I'll tell you why in a future video. If you have a website and you are already connected to Google Analytics, what I'm going to go through now about the setup process may not be for you, but stick with me because I won't be doing this for long. It won't take long to go through this. Now, if you have not connected to Google Analytics, you have not yet got your website talking to Google Search Console, this is how you do it. And I'm going to be brief with these steps. If you need more depth, just Google, how do I connect my website to Google Search Console? There's going to be lots of advice for you. Okay, so not only do you need to have this website, but have handy, you want to know where your domain name is saved, where it's stored. It may be on the same server that your website is being held on, but it may not. So make sure that you know where that's at. You can, there are plenty of tools for just another Google search. Do a search for how do I locate my DNS, which is domain name server, website DNS. It's publicly available most of the time, and you'll be able to locate where you put it if you can't remember. So let's see. So you're looking at Google Search Console. I'm going to come back to that. How do you get it connected? Look at this URL up at the top. It says google.com/webmasters/tools/home. Google.com webmasters/tools/home with the backslashes in there. When you type that in, it's going to take you to this page right here. This is the Welcome to Google Search Console page. When you type that in, you can see the domain name here for Google Search Console is actually a lot longer, and so therefore the other one is the fast way to get here. When you are here, first you're going to want to look at this blue square where it has domain. Now here's a tip. You'll see down here where the cursor is blinking, it has example.com. You want to follow this model exactly. Do not put www. Your website name. Do not put http://www.yourdomainname.com. Don't use any of that stuff. You want just your domainname.com. If it's your bandname.com, perfect. That's all you do, nothing else, and that's going to make sure that the tool is able to spider its way and get every variation and every page and every subdomain that may be connected to your website, whether at present or in the future. If at some point you add a news.mybandname.com or a music.mybandname.com, something like that, it will still spider it, it'll still catch it. Whereas if you put the www. On it now, you won't be able to use those types of subdomains later. And I know you're like, I'm never going to do that. You might. There's no reason why you shouldn't just go with the domainname.com. That's why. All right, so once you're in there, it's going to give you a TXT file, a text file. It's like a bunch of letters and numbers and that sort of of thing. And that is what you're going to need to upload onto your domain name server. Now, where you are saving your domain name might be something like GoDaddy, HostPapa, what's another one? Network Solutions. There's a whole bunch of places you may have it, and each one of them, of course, makes it a little bit different from the others. So there's not just one way to load that TXT file up, but the help files on your domain name server should be helpful. Again, Google, YouTube is your friend on this sort of thing, and there's plenty of information because it's not just bands that are trying to do this, it's anybody and everybody who's got a website. And that is going to connect you within a little bit, a few minutes or so. You should be connected on Google Search Console. Now, let's dig into the awesome, right? So when you get into Google Search Console, you're going to click on the far left, you'll see there's this performance tab that that is over on the left side of the screen. The performance tab is what you want to click on. This is the beaut. Now, first thing I want to show you that I think is really cool. You'll see here that I've got a dark blue box called total clicks. I've got a light blue box called total impressions. Those are the defaults. The other boxes to the right, you can click on those too, but we're not going to do that today. It's click-through ratio and average position. Really, those things are much more interesting for people who pay attention to SEO, search engine optimization, and they're bloggers or whatever the hell they do. It's really not going to be something that's particularly useful for you with your band page. It's all about clicks and impressions. And this is what you want to look for as you go through your career. You want to see the light blue line, this total impressions, and you can see it on my chart. I've kind of got it going on through 2019 on this page that I'm looking on here, where it goes from down low and then it gets higher and higher over time. There may even be a couple jumps in there. That is good. What that means, total impressions are the times that somebody does a search and a page on your website shows up in the Google search results. And since 9 people out of 10, maybe 99 out of 100 do their searching on Google, this is like almost all you need to know about how people are looking for you and how people are finding you. Now, the total impressions, what you want to see there, you want to see that blue line going up and up over time throughout your career. What that means is more and more people are looking for you. And if they're not, they're looking for your band name. If your band name matches something that people are looking for some other reason, then your line's going to go up as well. If all of a sudden, Velcro jock straps are like the big trend next Christmas, and your band is called Velcro Jockstrap, then guess what? That line's going to go up, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it has nothing to do with what you're doing in your career. But if you have a band name that is unique and nobody else has it, it's not something that's going to show up on someone's Christmas list unless they're looking for your CD, vinyl, whatever it is that you're selling, t-shirt, and you own that name, that is yours. Nobody ever searches for it unless they're looking for you. Then that light blue line that's gold. It tells you your growth, the amount of times that people are looking for you. That's awesome. So let's see here. Total clicks. Total clicks are when somebody sees you in the search results and the page on your website equaled what they were looking for. There was something about what they saw in the name of the page and the short little snippet that shows up afterwards that makes them go, yep, that's what I wanted to see. It's what I wanted to click on. Oftentimes, people will be clicking on the videos that show up in results. They'll be clicking on your Spotify results, all sorts of other things that might come up when they're searching for you. But and your social media pages. But if your website is awesome and always has everything that your fans might be looking for, then your website will be what they click on. That's awesome. All right, so that's pretty king. It'd be great if your clicks go up. But just making sure that that light blue line, the total impressions, making sure that goes up over time, it means you're doing things right. If you see those impressions going down, it may be that you're just outside the album cycle. It could mean a whole bunch of things, but it probably means that you're, well, really the amount that people are thinking about you is going down, and that's not good. You always want more and more people thinking more and more about you and your music. So let's scroll down a little bit. Down below, you'll see here is queries. Queries are what people search for, what they typed into Google and got one of your pages from your website. This is pretty cool for a number of different reasons. So my favorite one is finding out whether there is another band with the same name as you. This can be trouble. If you find that people are searching for your band name and they're tagging on something like a venue name that you've never played at, a city name that you don't have anything to do with, something like that, that's going to be a big clue that there's somebody out there trying to take your band name, and you got to get it back. This is huge and could be really informative. Another thing that it might show is when your band name is too close to something else that's not related to your band. And that can be a problem too. I mean, an example would be like, say for example, there's a rock band called Clutch. Clutch have been around since, I don't know, 1989, 1990, something like that. And if they came out today, Clutch, when somebody searched for the band name, isn't going to show up until like page 12 of Google results. They would never get found. So that is part of the reason why you'll see in like rap, hip hop, EDM, a lot of these other genres, they're going with names that are spelled really weird, they're completely wacky, things like that. And they're doing it for the SEO, making sure that when somebody searches for them, they're the only thing that shows up. And hey, it's a huge influence on music. It should be an influence on your band name as well. So that's one thing this is really good for. Second thing it's really good for that I think is really cool is finding out what genres or subgenres that people are associating your band with. For example, if you think that you're a folk artist, but you look in your Google Search Console and everybody's looking for your band, rock, and that's the search, it turns out that they're thinking about you as a rock band and not as a folk band, and you either need to lean into that or you need to work hard to change that impression. This also can be a really great tip-off as to different playlists and things like that that you can pitch yourself for. Even though you think that you sound one way, Google Search Console tells you if your fans think that you sound like something else. And sometimes we're in the bubble and we think we've got a sound and we own it, and it's not. Our ears are not the same as what other people are hearing. Again, you can either lean into it or really, really actively try to change it, but Google Search Console will tell you if that difference, that differentiator between you and what the way people are perceiving you is different. And so that's another great thing to look for. Another thing to really look for is, and this is another one of my favorite things, is what songs or recordings, what lyrics people are searching for and then discovering you. So this is a really good argument for making sure that you've got your lyrics on a page for every, well, I should say this, every song that you have that has lyrics should have its own page on your website. That way, when somebody searches for a lyric that they heard, you have a better chance of coming up in the search results, and people will be able to find the song even when they don't know what the name of the song is. Google Search Console lets you know when it is that lyrics are something somebody's searching for and you show up. This can give you a clue as to when, say there's a big hit single out there and your lyrics are similar to those lyrics, and maybe there's something you can do on that regarding YouTube, on YouTube or something like that, some sort of play on it, and really leverage that similarity. Who knows? The world's your oyster. There's all sorts of creative ways that you can utilize similarities like that. But you won't know if people are searching for your lyrics unless your lyrics are at least on your website somewhere, preferably when it's own page, so that Google will be able to see it and give that back to them. If you don't show up in the search results when someone's searching for a snippet of lyric that they heard from one of your songs, you'll miss it, and you'll miss it on Google Search Console as well. So, yeah, and that also will give you an idea as to when, like, you know, if you've got a song and you've given it a song title, and maybe even the song title doesn't appear in the song, but it's got a hook to it with words on it, and people hear that hook, they remember it, they remember those words, they're like, man, I wish I knew what band that was. I'll just type in the lyrics. Booyah, there you've got yourself a new fan. They're looking for you. Make yourself there to be found. So maybe even consider having your song title that you like and then just adding that lyric that people are searching for as like a subtitle to that song. That is something you could consider doing. I think it's pretty powerful. I think it's pretty awesome. But if you don't look in your Google Search Console and you don't make those lyrics available, you won't be found. You won't know that this exists. So let's see here. Yeah, you know, another thing is imperfect. I think that artist.spotify.com is a much better tool for this. Yeah, that's probably the best bet, but finding out whether people are looking for you to be playing at town. I talked about how your band name plus a city name that is in the city that you're from will give a clue as to whether there's another band out there with the same name as you. It might not be that. It might be that people in that city are waiting for you to come play that city. You got to go. You got to get a gig there. This is going to give you a clue. So this is all pretty powerful stuff. There's another way to get to Google Search Console, and so I wanted to say this to the end. It's a little bit more advanced, but I think it's really cool. If you've got Google Analytics, and definitely once you get your Search Console set up, do Analytics or set up Analytics and then do Google Search Console. I'll be happy to do a video in the future on Google Analytics and how it can be helpful for you and your band. But within the Google Search Console, if you scroll down to the left under Acquisition, under Search Console, you've got two different pages here that I think are helpful. Countries, devices, not so much, but landing pages and queries will give you a lot of the same information that you're getting on Google Search Console. In some respects, there's more. In some respects, there's less, but it's another place to get it. I recommend it. Google Search Console is inside Google Analytics. So I had a lot of fun with this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful to you. If you can think of another really great use for Google Search Console, please put it down in the comments down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. This is what I use it for, but man, there's so much possibility there. I haven't thought of everything else yet. So if you've got another way to attack Google Search Console that's beneficial to you, please share it down in the comments down below. I greatly appreciate it. And hey, you can find me on outerloopcoaching.com. We got the great blog up there, posting stuff, geez, multiple times a week, emails almost every day, so hit me up there. I'm happy to share stuff with you. And again, this is Paul from Outerloop Coaching, and I'll see you in the next video.